Hey all, so I'm here with Oliver here. Today we're talking about hanging out and just, how beneficial it can be and, how it's viewed in society today as maybe somewhat of something negative, but really in the eyes of the college student and particularly the college athlete, hanging out is a tool that is used to kind of be an outlet and a release. So Oliver's going to shed some light on the topic of hanging out and hopefully maybe at the end give us a few tips. So Oliver, just to kind of start off, can you give us a little bit of background about yourself and maybe how hanging out relates to you as a current student athlete?
Yeah, you talk about student athletes, we got a lot of stuff going on, and it's super helpful to just take some time to hang out, relax, and just do nothing for a little bit because are doing so much, and students and regular people do that as well, but especially when you've got that sport and school going on, you're constantly doing something, and that begins to wear on you. And even though people will see it as kind of a waste of time to be doing absolutely nothing because they say, oh, you're at school to learn, or you need to be getting ahead in your sport, that can burn you out pretty quick if you're not making sure that you're taking a measure to just relax and release a little bit. And I've thought about it a lot because I've kind of gotten away from it a little bit. I've gotten caught up in the sport and doing crew and finals week, especially these last 2 weeks leading up to the end. And it's interesting timing because I'm going back to a job this summer at a camp where they do talk about that a lot, just taking time to reflect. And that goes along with just kind of sitting, taking a minute, and how it's so easy to talk about, but it's kind of difficult to make yourself do sometimes. But I definitely feel like it's beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. Just to keep going off that, as somebody that, likes to find an hour or two to hang out and kind of relax and kind of just lose themselves, do you find yourself or your friends doing anything in particular? Do you have any special activities or anything that you'd like to do particularly to hang out?
Definitely music is huge for me. I listen to a lot of music. I've spent more time than I probably should, organizing playlists and things like that, just so I always have something to tap into when I want to, touch on certain emotions or set a certain mood, and that's nice. As far as, when I have most of my free time during the summer, I do things like hiking a lot, and especially when you're at like a peak or a summit, just spending some time to sit and reflect. That's just the best. If you get nice weather up there and you're with a group of people and you've all, just shared in this experience, just to take time and just hang out for a bit is really nice.
Yeah, and I agree with that 100%. Looking at society today, I think we create a lot of issues for ourselves due to overthinking and kind of overstressing. This day and age, people are kind of looking at things like cancer. Oh, this causes cancer, that causes cancer, or the concussion aspect in sports. We got to do this, we got to protect players from that. I think if people just started to take maybe that hour or two, maybe if something was mandated in the workplace, an hour or two a day just to kind of sit and think and kind of meditate almost, I think that'd be beneficial. Do you have any thoughts on maybe implementing something like that into the workplace?
Yeah, it's interesting to bring that up. We talked about that in one of my classes and how that could really be beneficial overall because, again, immediately people's snap reaction is to think, okay, that's, time is money in the workplace. That's time that you could be working. But just to have nothing to do, I personally find that's when I'm most creative. Just being able to think about anything, so many more ideas come to you as opposed, you can't do it all the time because there's definitely a balance that you need to strike. But I think that we, as a society right now, definitely err on the side of little to no free time is seen as the norm. And while I think that too much free time can also be counterintuitive, definitely we need to increase it. I think we're too far on one of the extremes.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. And lastly here to wrap things up, you mind giving the viewers out there a tip or two just in terms of hanging out and creating an enjoyable hangout session?
Absolutely. I think first you just got to find something that speaks to you. For me, it's music. Maybe it's an activity that you like, or maybe it's just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, just like shutting out all outside noise, turning your phone off. I don't know if you got blackout curtains. Pull those down and just kind of sit for a minute, which is really cool. You just got to find what works for you. People are going to throw out different suggestions, but if you don't feel relaxed while you're doing it, it's completely against the point. And another important thing is just when you decide on a time, just do it, because it's same way with homework. If you say I'm just going to do it at some point, or I'll get it done tomorrow, you're never going to do it. So in a way, it's just like work. You got to make sure that you set a time, and you're not going to let anything interfere with it, and that you're just going to have that time, and that'll help you make sure that you're doing it. And I think it's going to be helpful in the long run.
Well, Oliver, thank you so much. I think you provided some good insight, and definitely those tips will help people out there, looking to hang out. So appreciate your time, and thanks again.